I know. I'm pretty late to the party. It's been a week already since this update dropped, and by internet time terms, that might as well be forever. I know. Primacon, you sham. Hang me up by my thumb with tacks. Shoot me. Please, do it. Do it. I'm okay. Team Cherry dropped a brand new patch for Hollow Knight last week, and I just wanted to talk about it anyway because I think it's pretty sweet. This game is now about 10 years old, almost. Team Cherry are now millionaires. They have enough money to last them their lifetime and more. They don't need to do shit. They are now working on content packs for Silksong, like the Sea of Sorrow DLC, probably a Steel Assassin DLC, and who knows how many more DLCs in the future. Even though they absolutely did not need to, they still decided to update Hollow Knight, and I just think that's glaze-worthy in this age of AI and shitty things that's been happening in the gaming industry. I feel like when someone does something nice, even if you can come off as a little bit too much dick-sucky glazy, it's still, worth it to give them the dues and the respect that they deserve. Hollow Knight's small update dropped on February 5th, patch 1.5. Basically, they added support for 21:9 and 16:10 resolutions, which is great because my laptop screen is 16:10 and my second monitor is 21:9. Now I can actually play Hollow Knight on either of my screens at full resolution without black bars. When I could do that with Silksong, it already blew my mind, but they basically did the same with Hollow Knight, which is kind of the theme with this patch, is they're bringing Hollow Knight a lot closer to Silksong when it comes to some quality of life features. Like this next patch note, game now pauses while in inventory menus. This is a thing that they do in Silksong, which I think is really good. I just think it's a very nice quality of life feature that I don't have to. It always confused the crap out of me that one menus would pause the game, but then one wouldn't. Now it's just same throughout the system, and I think this is just very, very nice, especially because game clock pauses when you're in inventory now, which could help if you're trying to speedrun or get the speedrunning achievements and such. So it's pretty nice. Upgraded to Unity input systems for broader controller support. Original input system is still available if preferred via options control. And now I'm not fully sure what that means. Fun fact, I'm gonna go on a little bit tangent here. I was planning to make a pretty fun video where I learn how to code to make a really shitty Silksong fan game. I know nothing about coding, like absolutely nothing, not even the bare bones. So I thought it would be a pretty entertaining video to make. And while I was researching on that topic and looking at tutorials just to see what it's about, I heard that there's something called a new input system in Unity, and it's basically, it changes how Unity detects your input and controller mapping and shit like that. Again, I'm not a programmer, I don't know, but whatever it is, looks like Team Cherry have implemented in Hollow Knight, which should allow for broader controller support, which is always nice. That's just great to see. I love it. What's next? Added dithering effect and dithering options to reduce color banding. Okay, color banding. The biggest elephant in the room when it comes to these games. Yesterday I was playing some Silksong and I noticed an insane amount of color banding. Sadly, this patch that they added for reduced color banding, it's the same thing they added in Silksong, and it does not work very well. In fact, there's a video on YouTube going around that explains the color banding issue in Silksong in great detail. I highly recommend you check that video out to be more knowledgeable on what color banding is and what they're talking about, but it's a pretty rampant issue in these games, unfortunately. They fixed the softlock in City of Tears Grub Room. I have no idea what that softlock even was. Please enlighten me in the comments, but I'm glad that's patched. Reduce Grey Prince Zode stagger bounce height. That's just, again, another great quality of life feature. That fight is bullshit, and the stagger bounce is part of that bullshit, so dialing that down, always welcome change. Upgrade Sly Great Slash Collider to closely match visual. I didn't even know that was an issue, but it doesn't surprise me. That attack is a bullshit to dodge, and maybe it's because the Collider actually didn't very well match the visuals, so now it should be more in line, which is great. Salubra's Blessing now deactivates after reaching max soul. Hallelujah, bless the heavens, thank the Lord. This was the most needed change of all time. In every single subsequent playthrough I have had of Hollow Knight, I have deliberately gone out of my way to not get Salubra's bitch blessing, just so that she's not wailing like a banshee every time I sit on a bench. That was such an annoying thing that it did, and I'm so fucking glad it's patched out. Thank you, Team Cherry. This is probably the biggest update they've made so far. Off note, because it's in my mind right now, can they please add a quality of life feature to Silksong where if you already have your cocoon and you accidentally end up like using your Silk Eater, it doesn't use the fucking Silk Eater. I waste Silk Eaters so often because I accidentally use them when I wasn't meaning to. Please, Team Cherry, add that quality of life patch to Silksong. It'll be great. Map penning is now smoother. Again, that's great. I haven't played Hollow Knight in a while, so I don't really remember if it was unsmooth, but now it's more smooth. Always good to know that map penning is now oiled up. Various performance improvements and various smaller fixes and tweaks. Again, huge thank you to Team Cherry for updating this game even after so long. They added a new key art, which is more in line with the Silksong key art. Again, going with the theme of bringing both the games together closer. It's just so perfect. Now that Team Cherry has perfected Hollow Knight, maybe it's about time I do as well. As you can see, 62 out of 63 fucking achievements because I still have not done Pantheon 5. But hey, maybe after being Silksong for so long, you know, after playing that game is so hard, maybe my Hollow Knight skills have improved. Maybe I am now Fireborn, and I should attempt Pantheon 5 again. Who knows? In other news, there's a PlayStation State of Play today. I'm actually pretty excited about it because it's one of the longer State of Plays that we have had in a while. It's supposed to be an hour long. Usually these things are like 20 minutes. And my PS5 is out there in my living room right now collecting absolute dust because there's been fucking nothing to play on it. I know they're gonna show Wolverine there today, which I'm pretty excited about. I'm gonna buy that shit day one because I love the Insomniac Spider-Man games, but I'm also curious what else they show because it's a State of Play, and State of Play is pretty cozy with Capcom. Resident Evil 9 is like 2 weeks away, so maybe we'll get a playable demo today. That would be nice, and who knows, maybe we'll just get some nice banger first-party game announcements for the PS5, because if you guys didn't hear, they delayed the PS6. The initial plans were to have PS6 in like early 2027, I think. Now those plans are no longer true and they're delaying the PS6 launch, which thank fucking God, because PS5 barely has had a generation. And again, maybe I'm hoping too much, but I'm hoping to see something nice today at the State of Play. I will be streaming that event, so if you want to watch it live with me, again, I'll be live in about 2 hours is when that event is, so keep an eye out for that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you soon with a new one. Okay, Primacon signing out.